Hey guys, welcome to your Monday Neo stock update. We are seeing Neo stock actually climbing ever so slightly today. We're seeing the stock being up by 1.25%, which is relatively good. I'm going to zoom out to the 1 month chart to really put into context what we are seeing here. And the question is obviously, where do we go from now? You guys will know over the past month we've seen a lot of volatility with Neo. You can clearly see it on the charts here. Quite the roller coaster, right? Big gaps up, big gaps down. But the question is, what comes next? Now, before we do enter the video fully, I must say, nobody can say with 100% certainty, I am not a financial advisor, this is not financial advice. Simply me sharing my personal thoughts and opinions based on what I am looking at. At the same time, if you do enjoy these videos, please do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It will help me to grow the channel, and it'll allow you guys to show me, I should say, that you want to see more content on Neo. So please do subscribe, please do hit the bell, and please do like. Anyway, let's jump straight in and let's start off by analysing what we are seeing. Now for this, I'm zooming out to the 5-day chart. Now you only need to look back a couple days to see where Neo stock saw this major gap up. From the Thursday session into Friday, we saw this major rally. Now the most interesting thing here is, unlike many a time in the past, we've not seen this one immediately stop. As a matter of fact, we saw a small gap up at open today, followed by a relatively still day. Not the worst thing in the world at all. However, you need to not forget the volatility that we often see with Neo. Is there potential for this one to rise even further? Absolutely there is. However, you can see this trend absolutely forming. And you know, you've seen this many a time in the past. We see these major gap ups with Neo. I can just go from here, right? In the recent period at least. From here, from here, from here, from here, right? You see these major runs up. And every single time it looks like we could be trying to break out of key levels, but we just don't seem to be able to. So for this, I want to highlight some key levels that I am looking for on the upside and the downside to potentially indicate where we could go from here. Then I'll be giving you my personal thoughts towards the end. So, the key levels that I'm looking for on the upside, and the key things that I'm looking for on the upside. Well, first things first, in relation to the actual things I want to see, I want to see this one slowly begin to move up, right? I want to see some steady consolidation. I think what shocks a lot of people with Neo, again, it comes back to that volatility fact, but one day it might be up by 3, 4, 5% or more, next day it might be down by the same or more. And people get really shocked by this. People just don't see this coming. However, you need to factor this in, especially when dealing with this stock. There's a lot of volatility here, and there's a possibility that we could see this one soon. And this is not me being bearish, right? I know there's a lot of good news going on for Neo, but it is still the case. We could see this one drop back to the 440 range, something like that, very, very soon. It's not impossible. At the same time, we want to see this one break out, right? We're always bullish, so we want to see this one break out. However, we will look at the bearish side in a second as well. So, ideally on the breakout side, well, on the 5-day chart, and this is going to tie into specifically tomorrow, I want to see us get above the previous day high, which was really about $4.90. And really what we're going to need to see, and I've been saying this for some time with Neo, we're struggling to stay above $5. Break above $5, stay there, and that is a good sign. Not necessarily a sign of a total recovery, however, this week, in an ideal world, if we could just see a slow build up, slow build up, slow build up, that would be absolutely perfect. Any degree of stability, even if it comes with a little bit to the downside, even if it comes with a little bit to the upside, any degree of stability in my eyes for Neo this week is going to be a good sign, because right now it's very hard to see where you are with a stock, right? I think we can all agree with that. You guys are ready to get serious about trading for less than the price of a coffee every day? I've got to tell you about the new Patreon page that I have just launched. That's right guys, I have a new Patreon. I'm going to be sharing everything on here, from my personal stocks that I am watching to pre-market updates, as well as a Discord group which I have started. It's going to allow you to access similar-minded, like-minded people who are also interested in sharing their knowledge about the markets. I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff over here guys. There's going to be a lot of exclusive content coming in the next couple of weeks, but do bear in mind, for most of the tiers, spots are limited. The Market Scout, where you'll gain access to the Discord, prices will change after 150 members. At the moment guys, I'm limited for time, so the Trader's Edge course and above, we're limiting the courses even lower, right? There's a limited amount of people who can join. At the same time, depending on the level of mentorship that you want, we have prices going all the way up from $14.50 to the highest tiers over here that you can see. Again, if you're looking to take your journey to that next level, On these middle tiers, this is personally the one that I would recommend, even though it's not the most expensive. It costs less than a coffee every single day, and the amount of information that you'll get here, in my personal opinion, is absolutely worth the value. At the very least, guys, you can become a member for free. The link is down in the description, the comment section, and the bio. Just give it a look and see what you think. And of course, feel free to sign up if you're looking to take your journey even further. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the video. 490 has been a previous level of difficulty both today and at previous levels in the past, most notably back here, right? That's one example of it. Break above that and we could be looking to go slightly higher. The next level that we could be looking at is going to be all the way up at about $5. We've seen this bring some difficulty here and here as well, right? We just can't break above that point. And the one or two times that we did, example here, well, we weren't able to stay above there for very long. So a consistent break in consolidation above $5 on the upside in the next couple of days and weeks would be a very, very bullish sign in my opinion. That would be a very good thing to see. Now to the downside, if we were to look to that level, well again, we don't really want to drop below today's lows, right? 482 in an ideal world would be great. However, if we can't maintain that, well, we could be seeing a bigger fall. That's not impossible at all. You could be looking at gaps down, potentially going as low as the range roughly 470. That's been a previous support both here, here, and here roughly. About 470, 480, somewhere in that range has held up historically. You could be looking to see levels drop even lower than that. Could be looking to go as low potentially as the 450s, the 440s, or the 430s. Those levels all holding up all the way throughout here, most notably here, 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 and arguably here too. Hold on to those levels and things still aren't too bad, because zoom out to the 6 month and this all does begin to make sense, trust me, right? You're still holding in this channel, right? If you can hold the 440s, you're still holding in this channel, arguably going down to the high 430s. High 430s might still consider this, but really above 440. Now, where the trend becomes slightly worrying with NIO, and this has actually been continued over the last couple of days, we've seen this descending pattern form, right? Where we're really just seeing definitely lower highs. Every single one of these pushes has been lower than the last. And for the most part, lower lows. We're going down, generally. And that's not to say this trend can't change, but this is absolutely worth considering. I think there is a possibility that we could see this one fall lower. Would I buy NIO stock right now? Personally, if it was me, I would not buy it right now. I would not buy it right now. Even if you were looking to make a quick trade, you know, maybe day trade, week trade, whatever you want to see, I think there is a possibility, actually possibly a probability, right? A relatively decent probability, in my personal opinion. Do your own research, right? But in my opinion, decent probability that we fall into the $4.40, $4.30, $4.50 range again. This range, I think that's not impossible at all, based on what we see. Now, what would be worrying, be it tomorrow, the next couple of days, whenever, is if we see NIO start to fall even lower. If we fall below this 439, 437, 435 into these lower ranges, that's going to be not the best sign at all, right? Not the best sign at all. If we fall slightly higher, anywhere in this range, we'll call it up to 450, that is actually going to be a relatively good thing. 455 and above could arguably indicate a trend change, slightly moving up, possibly in the near future. However, this at the moment is very volatile. You know, we're seeing, like I say, lower highs, for the most part lower lows. And if I had to make an assumption here personally, it would be that we're going to see that again. Maybe not lower lows, but at the very lowest, we could be looking to go to 440s, 430s, 450s maybe at the push. And I don't think that might be that far away. Now, if you guys disagree, that's your call to make, right? But until I see NIO break really $495, at the moment my opinion is not going to change. And if we see this one push lower and lower and lower, I think there's a possible break into the 430 range. Possible, right? At the very highest, maybe the 450s. Is that possible to be absolutely wrong? Yes. Again, a stock like this is relatively difficult to read. And I know a lot of people are going to say the fundamentals are strong. To some degree, I do agree, right? Realistically. But you've got to look at the patterns here. You've got to look at the short term, or at least that's what we're trying to do. In the short term, things are moving down, more broadly, right? In the short term, things are incredibly volatile. So, judging off of that, I would proceed with absolute caution. And even if I was looking to trade these waves, potentially, right, up, down, I think we're in an up cycle right now, and I think the down cycle could be relatively close. I hope I'm wrong, right? I hope I am wrong. But until we see those breaks above those key levels, for me, then there's no confirmation of me being entirely wrong. So that's just my personal opinion. Towards the downside, we've got that too. So we'll wait and see what holds up, and I want to hear you guys' opinions in the comment section. But would I be buying NIO stock right now myself? Well, I would not know. I personally would not be buying NIO stock right now at all. That's just my opinion. At the very least, I'd wait to see if it holds 450, 440. Just my personal views, but I'm sure you'll let me know yours in the comments. Thank you for watching. Like I say, if you gained some value from this or if you enjoyed it, please do subscribe, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Goodbye for now.